Hey everybody, happy Halloween. Would have never said that for the last few decades, but hey, hope your day's going well. Still a lot going on in the world. Wasn't born on the 31st, but I was born on trick or treat night. My mom would tell the story that no one was paying attention to me and everybody was trick or treating. So I'm a trick or treat. And but I was born in constant sorrow. I've been in trouble all my days. The Saggy Bottom Boys or whatever it was. Yeah. So I mentioned weeks back that, we're having a good example right now in this world, especially in this nation. And, hopefully you guys, some of you more at least, can get a good look at the difference between, in this example right now we're having, because all of us have been taken by a con man here or there, it is a type. You can't say it's not. And, yeah. So we're voting for either. Anyhow, in that, I'm hoping that many can see this example, because we are seeing the difference between someone who's capable by and large and I live an honest life. We all say and change and do things or make mistakes here or there, or here's an error, but maybe you think multiple lines different and the main crowd wouldn't understand if you said, well, why I said that, why I made that error, who knows? But you're seeing an example by and large of someone who conducts themselves with pure authenticity. They know what they know. They're not saying something that they're not going to stand behind. And during this election, so many times, she needs to say this, she needs to say more. It's because that type that I referred to and showed an example of, they just beg for anything. Give me something I can twist and turn and reverse. And she was very wise in holding back and handling it how she has. And then everybody, she should tell us this plan for her future. She's showing you where to put your trust here, in my opinion. Now, if you was to play a chess game, could you even, here's how I'm going to do it? That's how this game will end. No. When you move, I move. Just like that. A wise leader, if you believe that NHB, non-holy book, in every word that it says. I'm not being disrespectful. I love a lot of what it says. A lot of truth in there. But it's messed with. But it says in that book, lost my thought of what I was going to make that point to. Sorry. I fill it up with disclaimers. Just my life built me that way, I suppose. Since I lost that thought, I'm going to jump. I'll jump to another thought. Maybe it'll come back. It'll all come back to me then. No, when I was young, and my father would tell me that, son, you can educate yourself right out of heaven. And in, at least that cubicle in the sky that's paved with gold and all that, he was right. One of my main preachers that I associated with in and out of my life also said that from the platform, that we can educate ourselves right out of heaven. And I remember hearing that as a kid, even though they didn't exist then. But when I thought of this, there was like a buffer symbol that was in my head. What education? Where's that? What's too much? Where do I have to keep stopping my thinking? And all of that does go right in line with the teachings of that NHB. Fearing knowledge in so many ways. Didn't know I was going to go to that way. So with this election, I hope, though, that many more have at least got to see the distinction between someone who can live freely and someone who's, been a criminal enough that they just, I got to win. Many years back, I believe it was before his first presidency, Trump had said to be president would be like winning I think he said like 1,000 Super Bowls. Maybe it was 100 Super Bowls. But so his motive is to win, fight at all costs, and be a con man along the way, if you've been paying attention. And if not, that's okay. We're looping to the tail end of this things anyways, and maybe next round you'll try again, so there's I didn't vote for a lot of my life for religious reasons, but then still doesn't make me want to or trust politics per se. But only thing I've learned in these last few years is I've learned people, and I can't believe there's even a choice here. I really can't, and it shows the corruption that's in our world, and in many ways. And it seems these ones say you're on the top. You've made your business. You've been smart. Maybe you did it right. Maybe you didn't. Not to say we have to be accountable for things, but people have opportunity to what's wrong with living more purposefully? The school system, they'll take you up through these grades, math for, mostly the same for many. Maybe it's improved. I'm dated. I'm backdated. But the point is, say you've got somebody, he's in elementary, and this little dude, he's a scientist. He's just got to be a scientist. Well, if that's something a person loves and they are good at it, we should want to do all in our power to move them along that path, and so as to share in a better universe, for us all. Not hinder because of, if we're all going to pass the same math. Oh, well, yeah, we're all doing the same. We made it. You'll have an education just enough to go be that next McDonald's chef or something. And I don't know if that's intentional, but if could be more purposeful, you'd have happier people, and the world won't go crazy if we could drop all the lies and the scams and the matrices. I can't say it. That's just my feelings. I'm just one individual, and I only know what I know. We're all human. I watch sometimes, different things on someone who gives advice, just like this to me, be it from cards or just because they really good and want to help people. It's their niche, and they deserve to do what they do. So me, I've grown up always on defense, like the natural, and good reason. The same thing that we see in our political world right now. Here's the decision. I've battled crap all my life, it seems. All of my life. Anyways, man. Trying to go in reverse to pick up where I was at. So when I hear, sometimes I'll get that defense up, it'll, and really nailing something about myself. Maybe it was some years back, maybe it's just a month back, maybe, usually if I'm able to, if anyone's probably, if you're able to talk about something, it's usually because you're not so much there at that spot. You've been past it, or you couldn't really express it in words and stuff very well. And I know that, man, there's many are talking to a big collective of people, but it's the human mind again. If the shoes fit and you start to put that sucker on, it's man, and then it feels, I thought I was past that. What the, and before you know it, I'm feeling defensive myself, or you feel like you get too much told what to do in a certain category, and if anything we're learning now is the rules are different. So speaking of different rules per se, this rule fits about a bunch of people. Even in the non-holy book section, it says in there that God would bring to ruin those ruining the earth. And but many can't tell the difference. I agree. Yeah, I agree. But who's your God? Was it made up, written up? Is it something in between? We only know what we know. And those kind of things need a credence level here and there. Also, speaking of we only know what we know, why not now? All my life I had these memories that I was sent here from this sounds funny, and it's a belief because it could be dreams, memories, it could be whatever. I'm just going to say it. I was sent down from a UFO, maybe a couple 1,000 feet above the houses. I heard the discussion about I was getting sent down into there, and I won't go into the whole story, but it's not a big one in that part, but I felt I was sent down, and but just a short while later I was brought back up, and they were so angry, crying. I remember more of that visit than the one getting sent down. And then I was back down, and life was suffering for different things all through it, physically and whatnot. So that memory I've retold all my life here and there. And then so many days after I took the picture of the solar eclipse, and my song, I don't know if it come out or it's about to come out on the mill, but I'm out on a patio, and I looked up, and higher than you would think any drone would be, and it was bigger than, it's windy, it was bigger than what I think a drone would be, but it was up there, and it had some lights that blinked off it, and I gave a little wave even in case, I don't know, it's right there in my eye view, so I did that. And it did a fast swoop and disappeared, and then in a pattern of about 6 lights showed almost like an oval shape, poof, something way bigger. It would have took so many plane widths. It would have been huge, but it blinked together. You know, it ain't happened since. I don't see flashy lights in the sky. And when it happened, I told my wife. She even saw something strange like in that category. But with the way things are for us, what's the point in saying? And so what else is out there? I don't know. The voices I hear, I have no idea if it's all in me. I feel like it's a connection to a collective of other voices that could be all the things that people think it could be. That ain't scary. That don't bother me. I don't have to have those answers to feel comfortable in my own skin. And that's the way it ought to be. Don't mean there's not a lot of hateful people out in the world that can cause unnecessary stuff. But so I put a higher credence level on the unknowns, probably hidden in different frequencies. We only see in a certain bandwidth as a rule. And all your lights indoors are blinking, and you can't see it. Right there shows you the speed difference of what you can see or not see. Sunlight, there's no blinking, it's pure. So, I don't know how long I've made this, but it's well, I guess if there's one other point, that might have been one of mine earlier. It sure is windy. But on the voting thing, I think that's where I lost track once when I gave too many disclaimers. I don't want to be involved in politics from all the times of staying neutral in that or trying to. And so there are some that, well, you got to choose yourself, and as if voting just plain doesn't matter or not even helpful. Well, I'd love to hear your plan. Because if we all did the same things that perhaps you do, whoever this is hearing it, can the world function? Would it all work out? Would everyone obey laws? Would we have bridges, guardrails, anything? There needs to be a structure ruling over whichever land you're living in. And so it needs, everything like that needs a form of a government. It's just logic and reason. So if I were to take that route, I would wouldn't be on the front lines of trying to make a better world. So what right do you got to say about the world if you're not going to try to choose better over worse, choose authenticity over con man? And I know that sounds harsh, but I'm just an individual. It's my opinion. And that should be allowed. That should be allowed in any family setting, any church or kingdom hall setting. But it isn't. So people have battles with that. And anyways, I feel good. I knew that I would now. I'm all right. Don't nobody worry about me. Get your motor running. Head out on the highway, looking for adventure and whatever comes our way. Alrighty. Well, you guys have the best evening you can, a day you can, and until then, have a good one.